working on my final dissertation chapter, moving from the outlining stage to the expanding into a first draft stage. So this is my last first draft of my dissertation, which I would say is bittersweet, but it's honestly just sweet. It's nice. I'm a big advocate for going into a first draft with the mindset that what you're writing doesn't have to be good, it just has to be. But even with that, when I'm staring down the blank page of a new first draft, I have a hard time getting started. It does help to have an outline, and it also helps to just jump right into the part of that outline that I feel the most comfortable with, regardless of whether that means starting at the beginning, the middle, or the end. And so for this chapter, I'm starting where I'm most comfortable, which is almost always Shakespeare. In this case, specifically, Othello. I'm still figuring out exactly what I have to say about this play, but at least the play itself is familiar, and so that just eases me into the writing process. Right now is start introducing some critical sources into my discussion of Othello to kind of flesh out my work on this play. What I want to do right now is curl up in a small ball on my couch and doom scroll for at least an hour. So I'm going to compromise with myself by putting on a movie in the corner of my computer screen to distract my brain a little bit and just dumping in some bullet points, quotes, fragmented ideas from my critical sources into this draft. And I'm not going to worry about integrating them. I'm not going to worry about how I'm going to structure an argument, including these sources. I'm just going to put relevant details from my academic, scholarly sources into the first draft and deal with it later. I can't get away with watching TV while I'm writing when I'm writing something that actually matters, but the whole point of the first draft is that it doesn't really matter the way I'm saying things. It just matters that I'm getting some initial ideas down on the page. There's a book chapter that I used to assign when I taught college writing that I think almost every college writing teacher assigns. The chapter is called Shitty First Drafts by Anne Lamott, and she describes this benefit of writing badly on your first draft. And she calls it not just a shitty first draft, but a child's draft, which I've always loved because the idea is that you get to just play around and put things on the page and figure it out later. And even though she's talking about creative writing rather than academic writing, I still think it works well. But one strategy that I do get to use, regardless of which stage of drafting I'm on, whether it's the shitty child's first draft or the polished final draft, is to cook something in the background while I'm working. I'll take a nice long lunch break to get the project started. Today I was making some bolognese with a butternut squash that I had sitting on the counter. And then for the rest of the day, I get to take a break every now and then, stand up and stir it and taste it and see what's going on with this tangible project that I have that I will get to enjoy at the end, which gives something rewarding rather than just plugging away at a draft with no immediate sign of all the progress I've done and no immediate reward for all that work. It's 3:30 in the afternoon. My chapter draft is now 6 pages single-spaced. The bolognese is simmering on the stove. My partner made me a chestnut and Biscoff butter latte. This is my third double shot espresso of the day, and this is what is going to give me the push to finish the day's work, expanding the outline into the draft. Because my goal with this stage of writing is just to get words on the page more than to really dig into specific ideas, I'm not slowing down too much to get into the nitty gritties of research when I run into something that I realize I'm going to have to expand or that I don't have the critical sources for. So I'm just kind of making a list as I go of things that I am going to need to research later. And for right now, I'm just plowing ahead. And in the interest of plowing ahead, and also in the spirit of the shitty first draft where you play around and throw things at the page and see what sticks. I am gonna do a little bit of writing through the other Shakespeare play I'm considering using in this chapter. So I'm gonna pull out The Tempest and I'm gonna get some ideas down on the page about it. This latte is really so good. I ended up getting through about a half a page of writing on The Tempest and thinking through how it might fit into this chapter, and it took me an hour and a half to get that much writing done. Sometimes that's just the way it goes, especially later in the workday. I always reach a point in drafting where I have to say, okay, this might not be done, but I am done with it, at least for the day. And that's fine. First drafts aren't written in a day, no matter how shitty they are. It wasn't like a total triumph of a day, but it was productive. And that's honestly as much as I can hope for almost 300 days into writing this dissertation. And at the end of it, I got to relax on the couch with a nice big bowl of bolognese. And that's always a win.